Welcome back. Today we're doing another update video on ATKR. So they just released earnings. I was extremely disappointed once again, and honestly I feel like a frog in a slowly boiling pot of water, where every time a new earnings release comes out, it's bad news, but the stock drops so much that the valuation is such that I have a hard time pulling the trigger to sell. And so I kind of just put up with it until the next earnings release, and then it repeats itself all over again. So I'm pretty fed up at this point, and I'm going to kind of tell you the story as to why, right? So to do that, I'm going to go all the way back to November 2023, all right? And I have a little timeline here, and I'm going to show you examples. So November 2023, their earnings release, they maintained this goal of $18 a share, and I'll pull that up real quick for you. So basically in this release, what they did was they had a really good 2022. They made $20 a share. Then $17 a share in 2023. They said 2024 was looking more like 16 to 17 if you look right here. And then they had this note about maintaining their target of $18 a share that they felt very confident about hitting, okay? So, always good, right? They said that they thought they were going to be able to hold on to this pricing and that they were going to make $18 a share, right? All right, let's move on. Next, earnings release doesn't mention anything. The February one, at least what I could find in the release itself. But then we have this strange thing in February last year. Major stock sales by both the CEO and one of the presidents, the president of the electrical division. And I'll show you that real quick too. So it was way down here. The president, William Waltz, and John, the president of electrical, they both got rid of, let's say, 1/6 of their shares, like $8 million. And that was kind of a red flag to me, right? It was a red flag enough for me to write this long post 11 months ago. So I guess that would have been around this time, where I detailed what I thought was a crossroads, because I really did have some sirens go off whenever this happened. And this is what's frustrating, is that earlier me would have sold, but something told me, hey, you got to channel your Charlie Munger. He wouldn't have sold this, right? And I got a lot of support from everybody not to sell, and it was, anyway, I blame myself, right? But what happened was I clung on to this thesis, right? Does the insider selling fundamentally change the original thesis that ATKR will earn over $18 a share and continue to grow? All right, so that's why I didn't, because I fundamentally believe that. Why did I believe that? Well, because they mentioned it and then reiterated it, and then in May, they reiterated it again. And I'm going to pull up that transcript because it's even worse than just maintaining it if you read it. So we'll go to ATKR earnings transcript from May 7th, Control F 2025. All right, read this. Here it is. We remain confident in our ability to deliver $18 a share in our fiscal 2025. Gosh, I'm having PTSD from this. All right, so everybody's feeling confident still, even though what happened here is that they guided a little bit lower for 24, so the stock dropped. So I was definitely not going to sell now, right? Because I thought people were just overweighing the short-term effects. And I'm like, dude, they said they're still going to be making $18 a share. What are y'all doing? Y'all are crazy. Anyway. All right. Then August comes, and now we have the first blow to that 2025 guidance. And it's worse than just this, because it's worse than just lowering it, because it's how they lowered it with that. You'll see. I'm going to pull up the transcript. So once again, here's the earnings call transcript. 2025. Bill, once again, what a good salesman. All right. Our initial EBITDA estimate would be around $650 million. However, this estimate could go higher. It doesn't say it could go lower, right? Okay, so everybody's feeling even better. Or not better, but, I remember, I think, whenever these earnings came out, and maybe I'm misremembering, but the initial thing was down, but it kind of recovered after the call, because he really instilled this idea that, hey guys, this is a conservative floor. Look at this. Our initial target's this, but it could go higher. What does that make you think? If you're listening to somebody say, yeah, it's going to be X, but it could be higher than X. You would say greater than or equal to, right? Well, that's what I thought. That's what everybody thought. wrong, right? Lowers outlook in November, and once again makes it seem like it's a conservative target. It's just, so I'm like, okay, well, this has got to be the big bath, right? And I think a lot of people said that, okay, this is finally, they're taking all this into consideration, but can't go any lower than this, right? Nope. Now we come to, oh wait, before that, then I see this, 11/26, major stock sales by the CEO and the general counsel. Okay, so look at this. I'm going to pull this up. This isn't offloading 1/6 of their shares, or over here 6%, 2%. No, 49% by the CEO and president, and a third, 32%, by the general counsel of their shares. Right after they issued lower guidance that said, hey, it's not going to go any lower than this, pretty much. It's just ridiculous. My question to them would be, did you know at the time of this sale that you were going to lower it even further? Because that's kind of ridiculous, but it's just, oh man, my perception of management has just been completely shattered by this stuff. Because what happened, of course, is that in February, what just happened, they lowered it again significantly. And now we're at this crossroads where, they're saying they're going to make, $6 a share, $6.30, let's say, per share. And I've lost all faith in management, but you still have like a good balance sheet and they're buying back shares and stuff. And I'll show you that. So it's just, I'm so torn because I could never, it would just pain me to sell this stock that's let's see, for a loss that's, where's cash? Let's see, financing cash. Yeah, look at this financing cash flow in this down quarter that they just had. They still repurchased $50 million of stock and paid $61 million in dividends, okay? So $50 million plus $11 million for the dividends times 4 to get it on a yearly basis is more than a 10% yield on the current market cap, right? So 10.6% yield. And man, it would just, I don't know. It's in a tough spot. I can't sell right now because I have some wash sale implications, but my idea is probably to start unwinding my position as it climbs back, if it climbs back. I don't know if I can bring myself to sell it this low, because while I think it's terrible and we've lost all trust in management, it's part of me thinks it's probably the floor, but I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it can just keep on going lower. I mean, if you look at that timeline, it's just gone lower every quarter, right? So anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. I hope you learned something from this video and from my mistakes. The number one take would be, do not at all listen to what management says. That has been my number one lesson, is to just not trust at all. And then to be extremely suspicious of insider sales. I'm at the point where I think I'm going to have a hard time investing fresh in a company unless it has a big insider ownership that's not selling shares, right? So anyway, let me know your thoughts below, even if it's I told you so. Let's hear it. All right, so thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.